Hi, in this video, we're going to see how to add to your highlights without posting a story first. So we all know what highlights are. Basically, they're Instagram stories, which would be visible to any user who lands onto your profile. And of course, they're there permanently. They do not disappear after 24 hours because you've set them in your highlights. So we're going to check out how to do that without adding to our stories. How could we add pictures or videos to our highlights? So as you could see, I've got a highlight in here, and this is a story which I posted a day ago. And of course, I could have posted it any time, but this would still be visible if I add it to my highlights. So if I want to add in something here, naturally I would add something to my story, and then of course I could add it to my highlights at the same time using this option highlight in here, and of course I could add it. But if we do not want it to be visible to our story, what we should do is we go to the settings, which could be accessed by tapping on the three lines over your profile, then settings at the bottom, and in here go to privacy, which is the third option from the top. Now go to story here under interactions and hide it from 5 people. I have selected these 5 people in here, and I could of course select any more that I have. And in fact, of course, what you have to do, if you have a public account, change it to private, because if it is public, then of course even if you hide people, there are definitely going to be some accounts which could still be able to view your story. So switch to a private account, and once it is private, you could of course just recheck that you've hidden your story from everybody, from all your followers. And once you're done with that, what you do is you then go back to your main wall and add to your story, add the picture which you want to be added to your story. So for example, I'm just searching amongst these, and for example, this is the one I want to add to my story. So select this and add any text if I like to my story, like any text. And then of course I could post it on my story. Now the thing is that my story has been hidden from everybody, so of course they would not be able to see it because my account is private now, and of course I've hidden it from my followers. Okay, the next thing is that you have to wait for 24 hours if you're following this method. This is just how it works, because once these 24 hours have passed, the story disappears and it lands into your archive. Now, this is a very fun Instagram feature. I have already added a similar story to my archive in here, and now what I could do is I would just select highlight from here and add it to the desired highlights. I'm not waiting 24 hours for the new one because I've already added a previous one. This was just a demo for you. Now as you could see, this is part of my highlights now. Okay, now what I would do is I would go back to my settings once the 24 hours are over and I have added the story. I would go back to my settings, I would go back to privacy, I would change my account to public, and of course, assuming that 24 hours have passed and the story has disappeared, I could of course change my privacy settings again and unselect all of these accounts if I like, and it would not be hidden from them any longer. Any subsequent stories that I post would not be hidden for them. So yes, I get it, it's a bit of a hack because you are basically hiding your stories from everybody, but this is the way you could get around by adding stuff to your Instagram highlights without anybody else being able to see them as stories first. When they've been added to highlights, of course, any accounts could just scroll up to your profile and view it. So this is how you're going to add stuff to your highlights without having them visible as stories first.